Okay. Hi. I think I'm broadcasting. Hello, I'm live. We're live here in Toledo. Let's see if I'm live. Okay. Is that right? It looks really dark. Why does that look so dark? See if it's on the YouTubes. Hi, Metamorphosis. Do I look dark to you? Like, I don't mean my skin. Like it looks dim in here, right? Like is it okay, it's not dark. Good, good, good. I look better in the dark anyway. Hi, Nick Star. Oh my gosh, where do people come from? Only one. Hi. I am on YouTube. Awesome. Perfect. Perfect. I'm gonna actually go there so I can actually see the chat here better. So I'm just gonna stay where I'm at. It ain't broke. Why fix it? Hi everybody. I just wanted to do an impromptu live stream because hi Nick Star, thank you. Hi Chelsea. Hi Velvet. Hi Christine Gregory. Metamorphosis Rocks Froggy. Hi. And Empo. Best day ever. Nick Star and I have been talking on Twitter a lot recently. Twinny. Wow, the gang's all here. So I wanted to talk to you guys. Let me know if you don't want to hear this topic, but I've been wanting to chime in on the latest Mango video. I have things to say. I have some thoughts. First of all, I have to give credit where credit is due. That was the best, lengthiest setup for a humble brag I've ever seen. I couldn't believe it when he said, after months of showing people his Louis Vuitton wallet and his bank accounts and his credit cards and how he lives, dying to show people how he lives, and other pictures we don't have to talk about. Threw up in my mouth a little. After months of this bragging about his lawyer husband and his life, he decides to go, it's like people think I do nothing all day because I'm married to a lawyer. Gee, that's actually exactly what I thought. So I'm glad you addressed it because that is the exact impression that I got. By the way, you do nothing all day except live in Los Angeles rent free and brag about how much money you have because of your lawyer husband. Could that maybe be why people got that impression? I don't know. I'm just guessing. I'm not a doctor, but I'm pretty sure when you tell everybody how great you have it, and then you're whisking off to Vegas and whisking off to Florida, and you're gambling and you're spending all kinds of money, and you don't work, and your husband's a lawyer, and you're just dressing up like in business casual to go nowhere. You're dressing kind of the way you did when you gave people the Scientology personality tests, okay? And bragging about your life, then that's probably where they got the impression. I mean, is he out of his goddamn mind? Is he out of that chicken little head? I don't get it. It was, oh, hey, Alina, Evelina, thanks for not going to bed. But that's what he did. That's what he did. He just like brags and brags and brags and goes, why does everybody think I do nothing? Does he sound like somebody wrote a script and he's like, why is everybody jealous of me? Why does everybody think that I do nothing because of my rich husband who buys? Like, he goes, like, I just come home and he gives me wads of cash. And I'm like, I didn't think it actually went down specifically like that. But I mean, I think you're definitely in a what's yours is mine situation. You're married. So, I think, yes, I think he funds things. I think since you said you were broken from Scientology and went that same year to a very expensive hair school after moving in and getting married, then yeah, I think he's funding all of this stuff. I think he funded your big, huge production company that started 5 minutes ago, too. Thanks, Frog. Right? I got to read some of these comments. Oh, I did see that Metamorphosis Rocks. He met him and he just knew it was the one. I can't say that that's not true. He said he just felt such a connection with him. Maybe his husband had the moves like Jagger, Rocks. The move. And when I say he has the moves like Jagger, I mean an old man with a credit card doing this credit card swipe. That's the moves like Jagger that everybody likes at this stage. Oh, I don't even think I should publish this. But maybe he did feel in love with him. I can't say that he didn't. And I don't know what it is you fall in love with. I'm not a huge believer in love at first sight, to tell you the truth. I believe in lust at first sight. And I think a lot of us can't really tell the difference. Some people say they feel love at first sight and they stay together forever. I think that what is more telling, since we are not what we do, we're not what we say, we are what we do. I think he could say he met him and he knew he was the one, but the one for what? Because I see you putting up memes about having a sugar daddy. And I see him always like exploiting these people more than actually connecting, but I don't know. But what I did notice, Rox was, and everybody else said Rox because it was your comment. But what I did notice was that he said that was a low blow because he talks so reverent and serene on his channel. He's very vulnerable, and he's just the nicest guy in the world. Very, very unassuming. Why would anybody attack me when I'm so nice? And I just think wasn't that a low blow going from my relationship with my husband? You mean the exact thing you did to Nick? Pretty much everything he does to Nick, he will say on his channel is something that's just a low blow. Like kind of like him saying, he just doesn't want anybody else to get hate. And then he goes and descends on people's channels and says hateful stuff. Yeah, he saw he saw him at the bank and he knew he was the one. He was a bank teller. Saw him making a deposit and I knew. I said, yeah, you know what? He knew he was the one, kind of like that damn stray cat in my backyard that saw me and knew she saw a sucker. And she's been at the back door. Now I go in the back there. She won't let me pet her. She won't let me near her. But every day I come home, she's looking in the back door. And if I don't come to the back door quick, she'll bap it. And then I feed her. So yeah, she knew I was the one in an instant. Jeff has a good sense of humor, and he seems to be a good sport. Do I think he would ditch him down the road? It is my personal belief that if Mango was to achieve any huge amount of success or fame, it is my belief that shortly thereafter you would see him going, it's nobody's fault. I really wanted to be with him forever. And it just didn't work out. It just didn't work out the way this 28-year-old Latino man worked out. He works out all the time. I knew it wasn't going to work out when I saw Raphael working out. That's just my belief, because I don't, the thing is, you either buy it or you don't. And I just am not buying what he's selling. I just don't think so. I think, who knows what goes on behind closed doors. I cannot say empirically that I think that's the case. But what do I base this on? The fact that I believe I have seen enough evidence that he's a liar to not believe anything else he says. When you lie to me this many times, he has no credibility. He has done things that are very underhanded. When I could tell he was like a dog with a bone wanting to dock somebody and just couldn't wait till he wasn't going to do the work himself. I think somebody eventually just gave him that info because it was public. And he just instantly went with that and ran with it, because that's the way he is, because he does not really have empathy for other people. And that is my personal belief. Oh, look at all these emoticons. Hi, all sorts. Oh, Jane. And Holly is here. And Nick Snyder's here. Nick, I don't know if you heard us talking when we were talking about the latest Mango video, and I missed your recent stream, so I'm going to watch that later. I heard it's wonderful and I intend to watch it, but I don't know when you got here. But we were just talking about how Mango always says things on his channel are so low blow, but he does those things to you. But on his channel, he's all unassuming and just sort of like, I don't know. And then did you notice the things that he picked for people to say are his favorite things? Oh, look, they say that I'm using Dustin for views. He loves to bring up what a bigger channel he is than Dustin. Dustin, who, in my opinion, has better viewers, that he came about in a better way. But he loves to be like, that doesn't make any sense. Why would I use him for views? Yeah, that's why you picked that, because you think it sounds like it made no sense. You didn't take comments like mine, who said that what you did was unconscionable and are calling you to task. You didn't take tweets like that. You took things that you could easily refute. you cherry picked exactly what you wanted to respond to, and then just made it look like anybody else who did those things is just look how attacked I am. It's like he goes like this, and he brings up something from months ago. They said that Peter, I dye my hair like Like, who even thinks of that? It just so happens the day he dyes his hair purple, he brings up that I just do that for fun. I just do that for. This was months ago that people were saying that he was trying to emulate him, and he addressed it months ago. He just feels like bringing up things that he finds that he can manipulate and refute in a very subtle way that allows his supporters to take what he's saying and connect the dots in a positive way. He leads them there so that they feel very strong in their conviction. I have to tell you, I'm guilty of something. I am guilty of not giving manipulative people enough credit for how manipulative they can be. Because often I think that's how people like him fly off the radar, and people go, how could he not be sincere? Because who could say these things and be fake? A lot more people than we think. That's what I've come to believe. That some people are very good at being manipulative, especially when they are very, very ego driven. And he is so ego driven that he knows exactly what to say to his supporters to get them to think it's their own idea that he's being bullied. And I'm not trying to say he's Hannibal Lecter genius or anything. I just think he's cunning. That's not intelligent. That's cunning. So yeah, he did the gray hair, but then he waited till he dyed his hair purple because he wanted to look like an Easter egg. And then when he dyed his hair purple, he said, I just dye my hair for fun. He was like, if you see me shaking my ass, that's just entertainment. I'm an entertainer. And I'm like, shouldn't people other than you be entertained if you're an entertainer? Are you an entertainer or are you an exhibitionist? Are you just because I don't think you're conceited. I think you're convinced. I think he's entertaining himself, and that's what the problem is. If you want to be zany, that's fine. But are you really thinking you're being entertaining when you have like a 20-second video of you shirtless with this come hither look and the porn music and the oh, please nobody use the screenshot. And just kind of like drawing his finger down his face. I was just like, what the hell is that? Are you trying to be sexy or are you about to have a seizure? I didn't know, but then the camera went dark. So, narcissist, somebody says, I think so. I think so. Those are fairy lights while traveling, Linda. I have, they're from Amazon, and a lot of people love them and ask me about them. This is the guest room that guests will be staying in. I don't know how I'm going to vlog. You know what I think I'll do before my brother comes next month? I'll do a bunch of vlogs and upload while he's here, because it won't be vlogging while he's here. Yeah, Metamorphosis Rock just put that picture with the zucchini weenie where he's just sitting there covering his junk like he's all sexy. Take the zucchini weenie picture, put it right on the fridge. I think I'm gonna lose weight faster than people getting gastric bypass. That's gonna be my method. Oh, Nick says my Xbox won't turn on. I suspect Scientology. Clearly, they're listening. And I'm definitely not a Scientologist, probably because I'm clear as mud. That should be my title. That is so gross. I know, Ann King, it was so gross. And he always does that same look, right? That like head back like this. It looks like he's not getting enough oxygen more than being sexy. It's always the same look. He looked up Nick's profile probably when he was modeling and saw, oh, he's known for his pout and he's the bad boy. I could totally be bad boy. Pout. He looks like he's drunk though. He always looks like he needs to be resuscitated or revived, and he's covered like, God, it was so not appealing. And that's not entertainment. I think you're trying to be titillating, and I'm not so sure. I mean, hey, if that's what his husband doesn't care about it, then I don't care. But that was just weird. They'll take out the fairy light. Don't take my fairy light, Scientology. I will. Don't make me come down there. I was in. This is not to name drop or anything, but I was in the same room with Tom Cruise more than one time. I saw him in Los Angeles and I saw him in New York. I didn't see him. We weren't like, hey, high fiving and stuff. But he came in. I was in a building called Bad Robot, and he came in when my son was filming. And there was this awesome coffee machine built into the wall that me and the kids loved. And I used to really like to make those boys laugh. And I said, So I'm coming around the corner and he had been there by before. And I said, hey, kids, it says if you push this button here, Tom Cruise will show up. And he comes around the corner like, and I went, oh, JJ has the best stuff. I was like, I've got to get one of these. And he was a really good sport about it. Other than that, it was like, there was nothing to be said. Obviously, he's a stranger, right? You don't know him, and he was talking to other people. But for me, the elephant in the room was Scientology. I was like, dude, you're like the head of a cult. But so I really didn't have anything to say to him. I didn't hate the man, but I don't like the group he's involved with. I guess I can understand how that can happen because he's crazy famous, and when there's nothing to want, who knows what that does to your perspective. But he's very enmeshed with that group. And what is this? Show. I had to show that. Sorry, the chat's moving a little fast and I'm trying. Who are we discussing? Oh, we're talking about Mango and his latest video. Nick Star. We have degrees in psychology. I know, Chelsea. They don't like us. They think we're crazy. And yeah, his latest video to me was all cherry picking the tweets that he knew he could refute in such a way to, look favorably. I think if you had him in an interview and we're talking to him about his social media life, the conversation with Stephen Mango would be very different because he wouldn't have time to, just say I'm bullied, because he'd have to answer the burning questions that come in between all of his comments, which is, well, if it's a low blow to talk about your husband, then why did you do it about Nick Snyder? If all of these things are low blows, then why are all the things you do not low blows? And we are talking about you, Stephen, so you're welcome. Mission accomplished. Yeah, he had, am I missing anything else? I saw that he had he picked a lot of people's conversations that it seemed like to me he was talking about conversations that weren't really directed at him. I don't know if he was even included in them, to tell you the truth, but he picked a lot of those conversations and tried to pick stuff that made him look picked on and bullied, and that, there's this constant campaign against him, but he's done nothing. He's said nothing and he's done nothing. And I find that was the longest humble brag in history. That was my favorite. What? I mean, people act like I just come home and my husband gives me a wad of cash and like I don't do anything because I'm married to a lawyer. I'm like, bitch, that's what you've been telling people for months. You've been bragging about this lifestyle, and now it's like, oh, why does everybody think I'm rich and that I don't do anything? I don't know, maybe because you don't have a job. And I saw people in the comments were like, I know, right? People are so stupid. Just because you're not cutting hair doesn't mean you don't have your license. No, it doesn't. But your license did expire in June of 2017 or 16. 2016. So maybe he renewed it, maybe he didn't, but he said he's getting back into it now, even though he has carpal tunnel. I believe, he's sitting there going, why does everybody say I don't work and my husband just gives me money because I'm married to a lawyer? I don't know, because I don't know anybody else who doesn't hold down a job, lives in Los Angeles, flies to Florida, goes to Vegas, brags about their Louis Vuitton $600 wallet and their credit cards and all of that stuff. Maybe the fact that you've been telling people this for months and months is kind of where they got the idea from. It's like they didn't just take it and run with it. It's just humble brag is a dish best served cold, I guess, because that was the longest setup to a humble brag I've ever seen. Like, I just don't know why people say I don't do anything all day and I have money. Yeah, he brags about being a sugar baby. Oh, and this is the other thing. Yes, thank you for reminding me, half Korean girl. Thank you. Thank you. 감사합니다. He said that the women he called his mom was not his mom. In the video, he goes, that's not my mom. That's my mom. Are you kidding me? Dumbass. How are people supposed to know that's not your real mom when the videos you put out there call her your mom? You're relating to her like, that's why I said it looked coached. It actually was. She's an old actor friend of his. And he got together with her and he thought it would be funny to kind of do this mother-son dynamic that he probably can't get his real mother to do. And he just tells everybody that this is his mom because he thought this was cute. And then when everybody thinks it's his mom, I mean, it didn't look like her, but a lot of people don't look like one parent and I didn't see the other one. He's like, My parents are together. They've been together for a long time. That's my mom, like nurturing. Look, Tony calls me her internet mom. A lot of people refer to me as a mom, but we always make it clear in every instance that that is not a biological fact. And that dumbass put out a video where he calls her his mom. Everybody thinks it's his mom, and then he acts like they're the dumbasses. What is wrong with him? Like he's just like he can't even be right by accident. He's that stupid. Like he's so bad and transparent at the way he does things. He just does not think. He has no filter that says this isn't a good idea. If he thinks it's going to further his YouTube career in any way, he'll do it. It doesn't matter, and like he doesn't even say, you know what? I'm totally sorry. I really should have made it clear that that was not my mom. I didn't mean to mislead anybody. But he did mean to mislead people. But only Stephen Mango can describe a situation and where he is completely wrong and act like it's ludicrous to think he's wrong. Frog push. There's a nice sisterhood going here. He doesn't want his real mom doxxed. It's so weird. Miss Monday says that he acts like, she said, I have a feeling that his parents had him later in life, in his late 30s, early 40s, because he behaves like a little over entitled brat. I'm not sure that was the case, or if there was a situation where there was an absentee parents. Somebody said that they were pretty well off or middle class or something, and he did well early on. I've always maintained that regardless of how his parenting situation was, he was definitely one of those kids, in my opinion, allegedly, who cried and screamed till he got his way, like just threw fits, like probably up until 13 or 14, threw fit, like cried. One kid, like he couldn't hit the ball, so he just started crying, and the whole game has to stop, and everybody go, okay, so and so, no, you have to go to bed. Throw himself down on the ground and just, I want that. Like, doesn't he seem like just because the reason I think so is because he still has that crybaby element to him, doesn't he? Like, why is everybody mean to me? Why is everybody picking on me? The whole world has to stop and pay him attention and explain to him that it's not coming from nowhere. You can't tell people someone is your mom and then be surprised when they come to the conclusion that she's your mom. Kind of like you can't put your friend's picture on in a video where you don't name any names and then wonder why they think people are going to think you're talking about them. It's just beyond belief. He threw a tantrum at the mall. That's exactly right. I think he did. I think he's a spoiled brat. Why can't I have an over? I want to be the Prada model. I want to be the Prada. I don't want to have nada. I want to be Prada. We're both proud of you. We're both proud of you, honey. No, I want to be Prada. So it's bizarro. Like that whole video to me. There are definitely parts I missed, I think, because I was zoning in and out. But I don't know, I had like ADD. I was like, I just can't with this guy. After I saw like a few minutes in, he was using, I get Jane Objectives comments up there, and she's good. Are you in here, Jane? Yeah, she was in here earlier. He was quoting her at like 5:48 in the video, 5:48 or 5:58. I found it, and I was like, oh, I gotta show that. Yeah, I was like. He just didn't address certain things. He didn't take anything that was a really good point and really address it directly. He did this before too. I mean, this was when I first started to not like him. He did this thing like addressing some of the rumors about me, and he didn't address any of the tough questions. Remember that? I'm just remembering that now. It's all coming back to me. Jane says I couldn't watch the other parts. I know. It was like, what the hell? I wonder if I still have that open. You could still have him where he's talking about
his former employer. The one thing I can say about that, guys, is that.
Well, why does he speak Canadian when he's from outside of Boston? I never understood that. He has like a Canadian accent. It's about.
Sometimes you sign a non-disclosure agreement when you work for a company because you may be exposed to different operations
hear
of the
him?
business or different sort of client sort of stuff. So sometimes you sign those type of agreements and don't even realize when you work for companies. So it was that situation.
What is he talking about? He signed those kinds of agreements in it. California has verbal contracts as well.
Or stuff like that, guys. I always show you the receipts. I always show you the proof.
No, you don't.
Hopefully,
No, you don't.
To speak for
It's like I always show you the receipts. I always show you the proof. No, you don't. Nope. That's a lie. He is nasally, and he always talks like this, and he's always so. I don't understand. I don't understand what people are mean to me. Just because you lie about people, you know, because you're a weasel.
My husband is a lawyer. Well, good for him. He has life goals. I'm like the unfortunate slothing there. I don't have life goals when you're spending your time and day.
He's always like, I have life goals. I have life goals. I'm like, trust me, there isn't one among us who doesn't think you have goals. Your goals are very evident. That ambition, it's like a tornado destroying everything in its path. We know what your goals are. You're not fooling anybody about your goals. What does he think is that we think is going to win the Nobel Peace Prize? I don't think so. Nobel piece of crap prize. What's happening to your voice? It sounds nasally. Me? Or are we talking about him? Does my voice? Oh, when I was doing his voice. Oh, is artist in here? Where is the Nick Snyder drug test? What? What are you asking that for? Hi, sassy cat. His voice is monotonous, and I don't know why. He always talks like someone's pulling his head back. And he's like, and making fun of my looks. And I'm like, really? Because I don't think he's above that himself. Mango Tea the doxer. He is a doxer, and he doesn't think he has, because, of course, when he does it, there's nothing wrong with it. He's not doing anything wrong as long as it benefits him. Everybody else is the problem. Oh, yeah. He said he always gives receipts, even though he was saying, don't ask me how I know. Is that receipts? I know someone's on drugs. Don't ask me how I know. Don't ask me. Are you going to keep this up? What? What are you talking about? How about the laugh? Hey, Carlotta. Charlotta? Carletta? Please keep this up. Is he a flat earther? No, he is not a flat earther. He's a flat broker. Oh. I am on a bagel. No, a roll. He went to some acting class. Oh my God. His whole thing has like all of these acting class stuff, like how to be on camera, like all of these classes that cost money. Where did he get that money from? He paid for all of these. I think they're stupid, frankly. I think a lot of that stuff comes from within. You want to act, get up there and act. So if somebody has to tell you how to act, how good are you? I mean, not that you can't learn things, but go get books on acting. Go read the Meisner technique and things like that. Meisner, he's not a truther. I don't understand why he hasn't blocked me. I am not blocked at this time, but maybe I'm not important enough or not on the radar enough. I don't know. That's fine by me. I don't care. I don't really go to his channel. One time I commented that I didn't care if he was buying subs or not. And he had his dog respond to me on a Twitter going, I could hear that voice. Thanks for sticking up for my daddy. And I was like, let's not get carried away. Yes. Yeah, she was talking about receipts. I guess Korea Girl was saying, where's the receipts? Like, in other words, because when you said where's the drug testing, we were all kind of like, what? You're asking Nick to pee in a cup right now? No. But I see what you're saying. You're saying if he's so sure, then where's his proof? Where's the testing? But he always gives you receipts. He always gives you receipts, but don't ask him how he knows. He's a regular Columbozo. one of my comments was in his video. Oh, that's right. I felt like everybody I knew was in there. I was like, it's a reunion. I must be in the clique because I know all these names. This Monday, you know why he hasn't blocked you or I? Because we were eloquent and he doesn't understand half the things we say. Well, that doesn't make any sense. But it doesn't make any sense. The dog amount is a mango hater, so he's being sarcastic. Half Korean girl said if Nick were straight, I'd volunteer to watch. Really? Whatever floats your boat. That is not the Korean half speaking right now, because you'd be a good girl if you would say such things. You must be half American. Oh, Pink Fuzzy is here. Yeah, I don't know where Columbozo came from, Tawanda. That's right, you're way ahead. Nick Snyder says the funny thing is I'm already ahead of him with his receipts. He's just dumb. That is so true. My Oma would die if she saw this. Oh, Oma. She'd go, I go. That's too funny. Kyokta. Let's see. Miss Monday. Somebody will have to get to the bottom of how you know that. So oh my gosh, this look at this is taking a turn for the worse. This is why you've all been warned. People have been warned about you. Let's see what he says here.
On Guru Gossiper gossiping about me, and
they're gossiping about me. Are they gossiping about me on Guru Gossip? They're talking about me.
I don't have life goals. I mean, it's just so silly to me. I moved to LA when I was 17, well, I'm 18 years old.
So many edits.
The country,
it's like, what did he not want to say?
Entertainment industry, acting, or any of that sort of stuff.
Oh, there he goes with his bio again. He's telling you his rags to riches story. I came here. He's like, you know what? He actually pictured. I don't know. Do you guys remember Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous? That's an old show that used to be on about lifestyles of the rich and famous, and that's all the show was about. And then the host would be like, he came to Los Angeles with a dream in his heart and $1 in his pocket. He doesn't like anonymous accounts, but he goes to the Guru Gossiper where people go anonymously. That's true, Metamorphosis Rock, where he probably goes anonymously because he reads everything about him. He'll probably find this, right? I bet you think Guru Gossip is about you. Don't you?
I leased my own apartment, bought my own car, went on.
Oh, he's like, oh, I leased my own apartment, bought my own car. Really? Because the last time I heard you talking about your trip to Los Angeles very recently, you were saying that you had enough money for 2 months. That was your big plan. You had enough money to live on for, to quote you directly, maybe a couple of months. And now he's like, I came here and I got all this stuff. And I did what people do. I just came here with nothing and it all fell in my lap as naturally it would. I did what anybody did. I took $0 and 0 cents and I bought a car. I don't know why everybody acts like I'm rich.
Audition after audition,
I went to audition after audition, 10 acting classes at the same time.
Motivated to become an actor. Then I started my first company.
Why don't you watch other actors? Why don't you get together with other poor actors and practice and learn from each other and read a book? And you can do all of that for free. Do you know how much money I spent to get my son in the business? $0 and 0 cents. And he starred with an Oscar winner when he was 10. How's that possible? No, 9. He worked with, he played Adrian Brody's son.
I ended up working at.
Okay, he says he put himself through hairdressing school. He's always so quick to say all of these things that he accomplished, but he never says how he earned the money to accomplish those things. Does that make sense? Most people, when they tell you their big success story about how they did things themselves, and by the way, this is another reason he doesn't like Nick Snyder. Everything that he wants from other people, Nick Snyder got for himself and then some. And that's what irks him about him. That's largely what irks him. It's not just wanting to look like him. It's wanting to live like him and never having access to that. But most people, when they tell you their rags to riches story, they're like, okay, I came to Los Angeles. I I had no money. I went to work in a small startup company, or I started working in a hotel, or I was waiting tables and then auditioning at night. He never, ever talks about work. He's allergic to hard work, this kid, because he's always, his stories are always, I came here, I had nothing. And then I got a car, and then I put myself through hair school. Well, what kept the lights on? Were you living in a tent when you went through hair school? Those schools aren't cheap. That's got to be 12 grand in LA, right? Current says maybe he was letting people watch him pee in cups for money. Maybe. It's okay. It's $4,000 there. No, that's like nail salon school. He went to hair school. That's more like 12 grand, 8 to 12 grand in Los Angeles, especially Paul Mitchell. It's going to be more than just 5 grand. And it's like a 2-year thing. So maybe he was on the fast track. He was doing coloring. I know that. And
some of the top salons in LA and Beverly Hills. I worked under some.
Why does everybody say they worked at some of the top salons in LA and Beverly Hills? Who determines what the top salons are? They're all top salons. They're in LA. Come on. Who are you working for? What's that guy? What's that guy? Not Fabio. What's that guy with the hat? That guy who used to do Anna's hair. He's like, I work for some of the top things. He can never just be, I worked for a good company or something. It's always got to be the best. I was a standout. I was the best. It was the top salons. It was tremendous. It was the #1 salons.
Celebrity hair colorist, and I worked on many different celebrities. Later on, the carpal tunnel, getting back into hairdressing now. I've done so much in the last couple of years, more so than a lot of people have done.
He doesn't have one celebrity picture, though. I think some of them would let you take their pictures, but maybe not. He's got pictures of, different girls, whatever. But I don't know about how many celebrities.
Life, so it's like, how do you
I think probably the biggest celebrity
or anything like that. I just started my own production company, Lily Bow Productions. So I don't understand why people have this impression like I just sit in bed all day petting drama poodle. I have no life purpose, no life goal.
I don't know. Maybe people think that because you were in Scientology and you haven't really done anything since, and you said you had carpal tunnel. And when people see you bragging about your lifestyle day in and day out and not working, they tend to think you're not a very motivated person. It could be, he could have done celebrities' hair. You throw a stick in LA, it lands on a celebrity. Now everybody's getting their 15 minutes. I saw, what was her name? Rosie Perez was in a black SUV in front of me, and she opened the door and spit out the door. And I was like, Rosie Perez just hocked a loogie in front of my car. That's how many celebrities there are. See him every time you leave the house. People always go, you don't run into him that often. I'm like, well, you must have prosopagnosia, face blindness, because I see him everywhere. Look, oh yeah, that guy. Oh, yeah, okay. I was in Beverly Hills on one of those 15-minute computers. And this guy comes up to me, hi, are you going to just be on there the 10 minutes? Which is kind of weird because, of course, I am. I'm only allowed to be on the 10 minutes. And there was a bunch of other ones. But he came up to me and he stood there smiling and watching me. And I'm like, this is Barry Miller. The guy, remember the guy from Fame and Saturday Night Fever? The small guy that was like up on the bridge, that was going to jump off the bridge in Saturday Night Fever? That was him in a black trench coat walking to and from. I would see him all the time going to the Beverly Hills Library. It's my Tell Some Drama Salad Tuesday. My Tell Some Hollywood Stories. He's Trump's bastard son. Right, that's right, Nick Star. Bragging about his lifestyle, but then asking people for money to fix the camera. And he said the reason he wanted to do that is because, that's my sewing ruler behind me. Maybe put that away. The reason he wanted to do that was because he didn't want his husband to be the only one earning the money. And now he's got this production company from no job and no money. He says, I guess that he's going to do something with that, but what? People who start production companies or produce their own work, when you hear producer, you hear funding. So more power to him. If he's going to start a business and if he's going to do well, I have no reason to not wish anybody to thrive and be wonderful. But he's quite the hypocrite. Even when he talks about hypocrisy, he's being a hypocrite. And, just don't expect people to like you for it. I have no reason to wish he doesn't have success in his chosen field at all. Taking 10 acting classes at one time, like, I don't get. I I help people get ready for their auditions and stuff, and um, I just don't see why you need to take 10 acting classes at one time. That is the stupidest thing ever. And I think it's another example of how he throws a bunch of shit against the wall to see what sticks. I want, I want, I want, I want. He is ferocious about what he wants, but he needs to work smarter, not harder. You don't take 10 acting classes. You take one. you take you read a book. You get together with other actors and you act out scenes. You put each other on camera doing a soliloquy and then you put that online. There's better ways to market yourself. You don't have to spend a lot of money because everybody knows if you don't work and you don't have a job, you can only afford to fly to Florida, go to Vegas and get a car and a $600 wallet. That's the lifestyle you can lead when you don't have a job. Unless you suck at acting. Well, that's the other thing, Marisol. It's like, I want to be good at acting. It's like those people who buy a bunch of weight loss equipment and don't use it because they think that when they, by buying all of this equipment and getting the gym membership in there, that they think that that's going to be the magic thing that makes it happen. No, nothing you get happens without work. And that includes acting. If you want to be an actor, you have to work at it. You can't just pay somebody to make you good at it. Find out if you're good at it. If it's what you must do, then it's what you must do, right? Most actors do it because they have to. And if that's what you really have to do, and that's what you really want to do, and you have no other skill set, I mean, I think going to hair school and being able to do hair is a great way to support yourself. You can actually get on sets and get a job working with a regular show. You could really, get to know people. And that's a good way to get your foot in the door. But oh, there's a woman who's getting quite famous now, and she was my driver, Zach and my driver. And what's her name? Tig. And when I saw her, Tignataro, she was my driver in Oregon when we were filming this movie called The Valley of Light. And she was really nice. And the reason I remember her is because if anybody's familiar with your head, type one. Yeah, Tignataro. You can type one if you know who she is. I'm going to use Nick's method. If you know who Tignataro is, type one. Hi, Sarzi. Okay, she was my driver, and I remembered her, but when I saw her starting to do her acting, I'm like, I know her, because I saw her like every day for a month. And she was so instantly nice to me. And we had to go to a location, and she stops and she immediately, this is the first day I met her, takes out a book to show me her life. And in it, there's a picture of her on a rock with no shirt on, no boobs, and no breasts. Oh, sorry, there's a stain on the shirt. Uh-oh, it's a pajama shirt now. And 2 scars where the boobies would be, right? Did I really say boobies? Am I uncomfortable saying breasts? Anyway, she had her breasts removed. And when you don't know somebody and they just go, hi, I'm Tig, and show you, this is a book of my photographs. And I'm like, oh, that's a real lovely scene. Oh. I looked over and I went, you had your breasts removed. Oh my gosh. And I went from shock to being instantly touched because it felt like an unusual moment. She was so at ease with it and so comfortable that, yeah, half Korean girl. We had drivers to go to it's called transpo. They take you from the hotel to the set, or from what we call base camp to set. And we had to go kind of far out a couple of times. So we got to take a long drive with her. And she showed me this, and I hope I'm not wrong, because honestly, it could have been Vancouver, but I'm pretty sure it was Oregon. And that's why it was far enough away that I didn't really remember her. And she was showing me this book with these pictures, and I was so touched. Hey, Tawny. Tawny has a question. Everybody shut up. Everybody shut up. My internet daughter's here. My daughter. That's how you know we're related internet way and not the real way, like Mango and his mom. What's the question? Oh. Yes, Rox, she's a comedian. and had no idea she even wanted to be a comedian. I thought she was just a driver and she was just going to be a driver. And just turned out I saw her on TV one day. And I was like, I was friendly with that girl. I know that girl. She was so nice to me. So nice. I'll DM you. I'll DM you. La la la. I'll DM you on the twits because I'm gonna get off of here very soon. Tony. And now for oh, you did? I'm sorry, I was blabbing on here. Talking with my peeps. Tweet, twat, twat. I've been tweeting so much this week at work. You know, I'm pretending to work, but they blocked Twitter on the computer. Why would they do that? Why? Why? So I'm on Twitter on my phone. And so it's harder to see, harder to type, especially when you're used to typing. It's just so much more freeing, and the font is bigger for my Mrs. Magoo eyeballs. So it does. It depends, half Korean girl. Like the tone is harder to read for sure, but I can tell you have a dry sense of humor. Now I see what you said. I have not. Nick Star. It's not my fault. I'm going through the change. Then they didn't tell me that you change from a nice person to a bitch. They just said you get older. It's not my fault. And we were talking about mango, mango, mango. I can type a novella on my phone. I know I can. No, you're gonna be a half bitch because you're half Korean. But since you're Korean, it's gonna be earlier and it's gonna last longer. You know what I mean? I'm already an ajumma. No, I was talking about Mango and his new video where he's just like, I don't get it. Where he cherry picked all the tweets that he could respond to and refute in a way that his supporters believe him. Metamorphosis, Rock. Yeah, I've been accused of that, Rocks. My brother Sean doesn't really like to chat with me because he's like, he's the fastest typer in the West, and I'm really not. I just process. I read quickly. I process quickly, so I can also. That's also what makes it seem faster is that I'm rapid firing my responses. I try to slow down and leave a lull that lasts about 3 seconds, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna respond. Yeah, I'm a fast typist. But I do wait. I leave pauses because also sometimes there's a delay in how they send it to, and that can make it a little bit more difficult, that delay. But I'm going to get off of here now because it's already 8:20 and I can't believe I blabbed for as long as I did. I had a great time. I love hanging out with you people. I'm so glad I did this because I needed to laugh. And I am a delight, I have to say. Oh, yeah, before I go, the eyes are Lorac. The highlighter and rouge is Elf. The lipstick is Revlon. And the foundation is Wet n Wild combined with Neutrogena. Also, the wrinkles are Old Age, and the ruddiness has to do with old age, and this zit is menstruation. So now you know the full beauty regime. Oh, the nail color, it is a combination of acetone and the fading French manicure that is crying to be fixed. Crying. I actually have fake nails on top of my nails, but they've grown out so much that this is the length of my actual nails, and I want them shorter, but I soak these in acetate for like 40 minutes and they're still, I think they use like friggin' NASA glue on these nails. She was so bitchy too. I'm not going back there. Pay to have people be mean to me. Why does that happen? And you go places and you spend good money and they're rude to you. Like they act like they're waiting on you at gunpoint. It's like, bitch, this is not relaxing. This is not what I came here for. I came here to like gossip. The rouge is showing my age. I know, Ron, because I called it rouge. I know, I'm paying to be insulted. Thank you, Starzy, for the guest room. I hope to have some of you heathens in here. Come on over for Paschetti at your convenience. My brother is going to be in the guest room next month. He gets mad at me for calling it the guest room. He called me up, Dr. Flim Flam, and he called me up and said, what are you doing telling people that's the guest room? That's my room. So that's right, half Korean girl. They should lie to me and be like, oh, your skin, your nails are beautiful. Just lie to me. That's what I'm paying for. I'm going to tip really well anyway. I'll double the tip if you lie to me. So thank you, everybody. We'll do this again soon, I hope. And have a good night.